Good day, everybody. Paul Mazibuko from Katora's Parliament. Hypocrisy. Let's talk about it. The fact that we have Dr. Ntabiseng Makhana as a CEO at Baragwanath Hospital, a woman, nice, claiming to advocate for other women.
Are we losing the fight against you?
I think one of the most important things that the role that they're playing is awareness. We seem to be walking in a place where we don't have knowledge. We don't even know where to go. I think previously we spoke with the MEC and we said that we've got a center that is specifically for people that have been, molested, whatever the case might be. And we, as the Department of Health, of course, were also able to say that we've got channels for you. You don't have to go to casualty for you to be assisted. You actually go straight to the center. It's safe space. It's a place where you can be comfortable and actually open up about what has happened to you.
But is failing another woman, Mimie Nyimbana, who has lodged a case against Dr. Solomzi Nyimbana, who is practicing at Baragwanath Hospital and also a lecturer at Wits University, who is currently a fugitive. I'm going to put a letter here, a query letter by Pretoria Central that was sent to Baragwanath Hospital to women at CEO's office. Yes, looking for this fugitive of medical doctor. We are from Pretoria Central on the 17th of March 2025, just to check up with them if whether Baragwanath Hospital did reply to their query. So Lieutenant Colonel there at Pretoria Central, Mr. Mukonyane, told us that Baragwanath Hospital never replied. Women. One of the women, I've just stated her name, Dr. Ntabiseng Makhana. The other one is Miss, I think it's Layelo, I can't remember the full names, but I'm going to put her picture there. Yeah, it is actually on Facebook. We got it from Facebook. So who is aiding a fugitive here? I'm listening. I'll wait. Yeah, women. Why are they not responding to the Lieutenant Colonel's letter if they are not aiding a fugitive? I'll wait. I don't know how many times we've sent emails to that hospital. They know the entire story about Dr. Solomzi Nyimbana, but women are keeping quiet. Yeah, women. There is a child involved in this whole mess of Dr. Nyimbana, Dr. Solomzi Nyimbana, who is a minor, for crying out loud, who is even autistic. But women are keeping quiet, are acting deaf. I'll give them a right of reply. Yes, I see at least Dr. Makhana is on Twitter. She is here on TikTok as well. Please, ma'am, we're waiting for you to reply. Tell us if Pretoria Central is lying. Let's stop lying about being activist people.
Today, I think it's one of those days for me, family, where I've already said that in the marginalized forum that we have as a family, there's issues that we touch on, and some of the issues become very disheartening. And when you start bringing up four marginalized issues and you meet individuals such as my guest today, her name is Mimie, and her surname is Nyimbana. She has gone through hell. She has suffered as a woman who has been trying for the longest of time to protect her home, her family, her children, was let down. Firstly, just from going through the process of divorce for some time, and only to wake up in 2013 to have found herself being overwhelmed with trauma, with injustice, and she started to lose herself because she had no outlet and no one to turn to, but our own court of law. It is in that process where you actually sit and ask yourself, what has she been going through since 2023? And she was married to a famous doctor, Dr. Nyimbana. And this is the same person that she said, I do, more than a decade ago. And this is the same person that said, I'll protect you. But this is the same person that has threw her out of her home with her two children. And because of his influence, and because of how he can be able to bribe people, he was able to let the justice system not to take its course. How many court appearances has he defaulted from? But simply because he was able to bribe, he was able to manipulate, he was able to use, he is very affiliated, very high in Chris Baragwanath Hospital. He is one of those doctors that have been there, but behind it all, it has been Mimie. But today, Mimie finds herself being disappointed over and over again. And it is because the justice system, with the laws that we have in this country, the implementation of it, we have been saying to you, family, that this is just not about a woman who's crying for help. This is about our justice system that is letting women down. Women that go there and seek assistance because of what they have been going through domestic violence. But I am not going to take up time dwelling on this. We had to start to talk about this particular issue and be able to bring it to the fore, because what is happening to Mimie should not happen to anyone. So, if you haven't subscribed, please do. Please click. Please share. Please like. And you know what? Let's talk. Let's raise awareness on these issues. Let's be frank, and our country, we have a very long way to go. As long as you're not even affected by a certain situation, you're taking hardship, pain yomuntu. Because of money, you decide that you're going to make a decision of your own and do injustice to this lady that is sitting here. Mimie?
Cindy.
Mimie, the words cannot express how I feel when I got to learn about what you're going through as a woman. The failure of our justice system, the failure of people not being able to take accountability, because they feel that they've got money and they've got the influence and they can manipulate the system. We're a victim of that.
And my children.
And your children as
My
well.
children.
And your children as well.
And in this, we've got a minor child that is autistic. He's not the father, but I believe as with the Black community, we need to learn from our mothers, from the previous generations, that a child that is not yours does not mean they are not a child. At the end of the day, he's the one that is most prejudiced by all of this. Our justice system is there, I don't know for whom.
Yeah.
I have no understanding of how this whole thing started. I'm only learning now, 2024, that when I got divorced, we got divorced in 2009, the 18th of June 2009. But 15 years later, I'm enduring, my children are enduring serious domestic abuse from an ex of 15 years.
Sure.
How do you even begin to say it is domestic violence? Because we're no longer married and we have not been married in a very long time. We not failed, we compromised in every way. Constitutional rights, human rights, children's rights are compromised. We're homeless. I've never been homeless in my life. What do you do when you're watching your daughter going through a divorce with you? It's continuing. It's non-stopping. It is allowed. It is accepted, not only by the courts, by the SAPS, by the NPA, and by the so-called lawyers, advocates, conveyors, notaries. So the whole legal profession to me is a joke. I wish you could be part of our court proceedings so that you can hear for yourself.
So let's go back a bit. I mean, there was a day where in 2023 you actually woke up to this nightmare.
Yes.
And when you woke up to this nightmare, there had to be events that actually led to that.
Yeah.
And we are going to go through, in fact, the whole process in terms of what you have been going through and why we are talking about the failure of the justice system.
Uh-huh.
In fact, it's not even the justice system, Gabantu, it's people that are in there.
Of course.
That for some strange reason, as I had said to you before, that it has become very convenient in this country for us to be able to actually accept money, but not even understanding the effects that you're actually having to another person.
Yeah.
So let's go back a little bit and really talk about you, Mimie, getting married, then that period.
Yes.
And then take it from that point so that people can understand that who's Mimie.
Mimie, I'm a girl child that grew up. I was actually born in Lady Frey in the Transkei, but I moved when I was very young. My mom was a student, was a nurse there in one of the hospitals. And I would say, sometimes you don't see these things. When they say history does repeat itself. My mother was alone when she gave birth to me because her mother, my grandmother, was a career woman. She was moving around all over SA as a nurse. She worked in KZN, she worked all over. So she left her children, working for abantwana bakhe. My mother gave birth to me alone, and she later then moved to Gauteng with her sisters, and that is where I can say my life started. I will not complain. My father was not around. I only learned of my father a few years ago. I think I was 37, towards 40, when he came looking for me. So we grew up in a family that had no father figure. There were no uncles. It was like a fully women-led home. We're soft, and protection basically is your principles and values and nothing else. And we were known for that. It was that family of teachers and nurses, you're respected by the community because you come from such a home. Then I meet this guy. I'm young, 15 turning 16. I've got my age group that has interest in me, puppy, and they're giving you interest when your boys are watching you playing, So, but there was this guy who I can say that he was really adamant. He had a plan, he executed. At the end of the day, he won my heart, and we had a baby. Our firstborn child was born in 1995. He did right by my parents. He did right by the family. He paid damages and all of that. It was all glorious. Like one of the first women in my family to be well taken care of, or to have a partner that was involved in your child's life. So it was beautiful. I can't fault those first years.
Yeah.
I had a man that had a good career, a man that was there. He was there. I don't want to lie to you. My first child's birthday party, everybody thought I was getting married. It was the biggest. The whole of Usoshangove was there. Only to find out that those days were going to be very, very, very short.
A span of what years?
I would say trouble started when the baby was like 3, 4. And I think my home was undermined because I did not have a male figure. He had nobody that he was accountable to. He was doing as he pleases, and he knew that I had nowhere to run to. Without a father, without an active uncle, you go home, you say, this is what he's saying to me, this is how he's treating me. And they say, is he paying the bills? You have everything. You're driving a BMW and a GTI. It's in the 90s. You are a doctor's wife. What more do you want? I was going through it behind the closed doors. But I had to take it in because I was a doctor's wife.
So are you saying, Lutu, from earlier on,
I lost my identity.
The abuse started.
Yes.
But because of who he is,
Yes.
it started from exactly there. You're
Exactly
right,
there.
Mim. It started from exactly there.
Exactly.
Because of who there is, he's standing in the community, in standing in society. He is a doctor.
His title,
his
title.
Profession. So that's where it really started.
That's where it started.
Yeah.
And there's something that is not nice about that. When you're taken young, I want to appeal to the young Mimis, to the young Mies, that don't jump stages. Don't jump stages. I didn't know that was what was happening. I thought I was lucky. I thought I was blessed, you know. I thought it was maybe a break of a generational curse that, you know, only to find out that this would drag for another 30 years. It's been 30 years of knowing this man, more than 30 years of knowing this man. And I'm sitting here next to you and nothing has changed. You cannot be divorced to someone and you're still running to the domestic court for domestic violence protection. You can't.
So, you married, bless a bit, and then you experience that, you know what, there are these red flags.
Yes.
And you still support him.
Of course.
In all, because women play a very pivotal role.
Yes.
You still support him, you are there, your kids, but you picked up red flags.
I did.
And your instinct told you something.
Exactly.
So in that time, what was going on in your mind, Amy?
What is marriage?
Yay.
What is marriage? I ran back to my aunts, but begezela, perseverance.
Sure.
Nobody's talking about love. Nobody's talking about growth, support, family. It's like, this is what it is. So take it. You are lucky. Take it, because some women don't even get to see their men. Does he sleep at home? Yeah, he sleeps at home. But the affair is at work during office hours. So he does not need to leave work, does not need not to come home, because sometimes he's doing night shifts.
It is a very convenient affair.
Very. With a student nurse at work at Baragwanath Hospital.
So the abuse happens. And what type of abuse was it?
I would say, let's start off by financially.
Sure.
You know, when you're married to someone, there are discussions around where the money is going. There are discussions around decisions when it comes to investments and big things and like planning for the family, you know, the future and the present. Money was leaving the bank account. Chunks, huge chunks to his family. Had no say. Remember, I met this man when I was 15. What do you know? You're not looking out for money. You don't want to care. As long as there's bread, there's food, you go out, there's nappies for the child, there's formula, there's nothing, there's petrol for your car, you're driving a very comfortable car. What is it that needs your attention when it comes to investments? All I know is that, okay, their unit trusts then, they were unit trust. Okay, there's a company that is doing well, there's Eskom now, there's Vodacom, unit trust, we buy. How How many? You don't know. But they're unit trusts that were bought. You're trusting in this man because he's 9 years my senior for starters. And you trust that what he says is exactly what it is. You know, I was never involved in our financial decisions. And secondly, emotionally, when you're undermined, when you will forever be that 15-year-old that he met, as you're growing, you are not seen, your growth is not seen, your contribution is not seen because it's not monetary, but yet he takes all your advices and they're working for him. And I started working when I was very young, when I was 18. I was exposed because I was working for an international company. So I was exposed to the internet very early. And I was exposed to what is out there. So I come home and I say, there's this property. Can we invest there? Everything is on his name. And when you ask, oh no, the credit scoring, the interests are very, very high, and I'm getting prime -2, prime -3. You there?
There goes another manipulation. There goes another manipulation.
It's emotional, and it's only because you go back and you ask yourself, am I really in partnership here? There was physical abuse that was involved, but I can't say that I was a punching bag. It happened once and I took care of it and it stopped that day. And now we're talking about bigger things. We're talking about spiritual abuse. I learned, Cindy, that with everything that happened, how did you manage to carry all this? You're young, you're naive. This man must have seen something for him to see you as a scholar. He's a doctor. What did he see? Why would a doctor want to be attached in that manner to a 16-year-old? What did he say? So manipulation started. Now the spiritual abuse. I'm 16. I'm driving to school from Soshanguve to Mainland. And I don't know whether it was a vision or what it was, but I see something. I see a dragon. I loved sitting by the window. I see a dragon. And this dragon is jumping up and down. It's like happy. It's showing me certain things. There's a dam, on the Steport Dam. I can see this creature. And something says, this is not normal. And I look at people. Do you see in the school transport? Do you see what I'm saying? Nobody says this. And I go to school that day. I can't think of anything else other than what I saw. Now I went back home and I tell my mom, listen, Mom, something happened. We would leave around 5 in the morning because school started early and we had to go and pick up all the other children. So we left very early in the morning. And that was my first encounter of me meeting my spiritual guide. And today I know how I was able to take this abuse and how I was able to carry my family, my children until today. I'm sitting next to you and I'm saying that has been stripped off, that has been taken away from me, my core. my very, I don't even want to say.
So, at the time, then you knew you had a calling.
From that day, I started seeing things. I started having dreams. I started warning people. I started asking questions. If there was going to be any burial, I would see it first.
Sure.
And I didn't take it as a calling then.
You're young, of course.
I was
Perhaps
young and I
maybe
wanted to hide this thing.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, my aunt is a traditional healer.
Ah.
And I know how painful and difficult this thing is. And nobody's saying anything about this. Now I'm thinking that I saw something that was meant to go to her. And now this thing is coming to me. I was like, oh, okay. I don't mind that much about it. But I am at times disturbed by the dreams that I wake up with. I'm young and I cannot be seeing accidents and they happen. It's traumatizing. So I grew up like that, but this was something that I was going through privately. I was only sharing with my mom mostly. And I just wanted to live. I wanted to be a normal child. I wanted to be a chartered accountant. I didn't want to entertain anything else. I was a mother. My baby was everything to me. I had this baby doll that was entirely mine, depending on me. So she was my focus. She was my priority. Anything else was not me. I was a mom, and I was a daughter, a wife, and a sister, because I had to take care of my brother. My mama was not working for the longest time. I had to take my mom to school, so that was my upbringing.
So the doctor,
Yes.
Dr. Nyimbana.
Mm-hmm.
So when you started off in terms of your relationship, you started off, there were those red flags that you just alluded to now.
Yeah.
And how that had an impact in terms of your marriage. But because of those circumstances, some of them that you actually alluded to before, you stayed.
I stayed.
You knew at some point that there was a mistress.
I stayed for the good things
Okay.
he was doing.
Good.
Yes. I chose to focus
on the good things.
On the good things.
And you sort of...
And this is what I'm told. That is what a wife does.
Exactly.
You support and you don't focus on the bad because you're here to build.
I get you.
Yes.
The abuse happens. You get to a point where you get to divorce. What led to you and him divorcing?
There was cheating. There was a lot of it. That's a story for another day. There was a lot of it, but there was one particular one. I don't know your instinct. Your instinct as a woman is everything. People, you underestimate your instincts. If you were to listen to your instincts, there are a lot of things that you wouldn't even have to go through.
Yeah.
He would come home. He's now gone back to school. He's specializing. He's an anesthetist, by the way, now. He's a specialist. I'm there. I'm a supportive wife. We even stay in the barracks, doctor's barracks, downgraded our lives because he's upgrading.
And you're there all the way?
I'm there. I'm holding the torch because we're doing it for our family. We are growing our family. This is the plan. And there's this woman. He goes to to classes, he's writing exams, he comes back late at night, he says he's studying and all that. But immediately as he comes home, there's a call. Always. There's a call that is checking on him. Mom, have you arrived? And he would say, yes, I'm home now and I'm safe. And I'm saying, ooh, I thought that was my duty. But I kept quiet because I was never really shaken by his mischievous ways. Infidelities, because I was told, focus, as closer women we are told, hlala phansi, there should be a difference between you as a wife and a girl out there. So nhleli phansi, I'm like holding it down, but here and there I'm raising my concerns, but there's nothing big, until this woman comes along. She calls me, Cindy, she calls me. She tells me, but you're just a baby maker. She doesn't, she's at work with him and he does not love you. And that got to me. I started asking questions. Not to him, to myself. But did I get it right by just letting him, not asking questions, letting him be? Because everybody said, it's a phase, he will grow, he's young, And I said to this woman, listen, I'm not going to even tell him that you called, but the man is married. And I don't know, I've never called any woman as a wife. And I'm not going to tell you to stop seeing my man, but I'm telling you, he's got a family. This is now 2006. He starts now not sleeping at home, something that I've never experienced. Then I knew this was threatening my marriage. I raised this with him and he threatened me with a divorce. You're not going to ask where I'm coming from. Let's get divorced. And you keep quiet because you're not ready. You're thinking, I've got 2 children. Where do I go? My mom doesn't have a house. I'm not ready for this. Stayed. That is when I felt like trouble is here. And remember now, this is a woman that is spending so many hours with him away from home. What do? I can't say, leave your work. I can't say, leave this hospital. What do?
So when did things start crumbling? I mean, for you to have gotten to a point where you said, I'm enough?
I suspected that there was a child. And my instinct, once again, told me that it is a child. Do you know, Cindy, I dreamt of it. And you'd say, I'm crazy, I dreamt of it. I dreamt of him holding a child. He had left home from a Thursday. And Saturday, he wasn't back at home, and I said, I'm going to drive. I had broken my toes, 4 of my toes then, but I was driving an automatic and a BMW, and I had the boot. I was able to drive. And something said, drive. Go to his cousin's place. I looked for his cousin's place, and I found it. I had been there once or twice, but he was always driving and I was never paying attention. I didn't know I was not using GPS. There was no GPS then. I was just driving instinctively. I got there. My car was parked there. He was inside. First thing I saw was the car. I said, oh, he's here. He's been here. I'm sitting, I'm worried, I'm thinking something had happened. Remember, this is the very first time he's not sleeping at home. And a baby cried. A baby. It was a newborn crying. And I said, and the cousin came out and I demanded to see him. And he assaulted me. I was wearing a cast. He assaulted me, physically assaulted me. I went, that was Albert, and I went to the police station to open a case which disappeared. The police never got to phone me, and until today I don't know what happened to that case. That is where the trouble really started. Then I knew there was a baby, but I had nothing in black and white that said, indeed, there is a baby and it is his. Didn't come home on Monday, came back home after work. That is like on Monday now. Coming back from work, and you could see that he's disconnected. But he asked for forgiveness and all is good. He buys properties for me, he's bribing me, and you take it because there were changes that he made. He was physically present, and I could see that at least he's doing something. I am not sure. I cannot say I had a baby. Only my instinct is telling me the baby is his, but I cannot prove. He says to me, what baby? I don't have a baby.
So how long has that been going on since you established that he's saying that he doesn't have a baby? And for years, so he's been saying that for years.
2007, he doesn't have a baby. 2008, he doesn't have a baby. 2009, we're getting divorced, he doesn't have a baby. 2010, he doesn't have a baby. And I do not know. It is, to me, I would say something that you say it's a hearsay because I don't have, but I know he's got a baby. And I know this is the reason that we got divorced.
So the divorce part came because then you had enough.
I had enough, and I knew there was a baby. Cindy, I knew that baby was his. That is what broke our marriage. And 2023, we're now in the court. He's in court, basically. I'm not in court for maintenance. The children now are adults. They have opened a maintenance case against him. And he submits documents. There's a marriage certificate. Okay. It's the same nurse. There is his children's birth certificates. There is this baby. Conceived in 2006. She gave birth in 2007. End of January. That's how I got my proof. But all this time, it's been something that was in my head to him that I could never prove.
So you get divorced, you fast track 15 years down the line, 2023 happens, hell happens.
Hell happens.
When hell happens, you wake up from the house from a divorce settlement you got.
Yes.
From certain, besides the cars, I presume.
Yes.
The cars, the school fees were paid. Although you had indicated at some point that he defaulted over the years, but you were able to carry him because spirituality, you're practicing.
Yes.
And you were able to make your own sustainable income.
Yes.
So he was there, but you were with Mimie. It's not as if you went out of that divorce and you did not have a fallback position.
Yes.
So you established when you walked away.
Let me tell you, Cindy, it was so difficult. As I said, everything is under this man's name. It was like I'm a ghost.
Okay, so 15 years later.
I'm rebuilding.
Now I get you.
I have to rebuild because I'm nowhere to be found. I have no credit record. I have no account anywhere. Everything from the cell phone that I have is under his name. The cars that I drive are under his name. All the properties are under his name. All the investments are under his name. I'm basically a shadow.
So you had to start from the beginning.
Exactly.
And then
building a credit.
Now you started building your credit and yes, and there was property now.
Yes.
And the other essentials that you needed for you to be able to survive. And
Yes.
you had your spirituality as well that supported you in that regard.
From 2009, post-divorce, divorce settlement, I walked away with a nice settlement, Cindy. I'll tell you, because then the Divorce Act was covering so much. Number one, infidelity was not entertained. Adultery, those were serious grounds of divorce, and you would forfeit certain benefits if you were a partner that was adulterous. And second,
Sure, I wish that could apply.
I'm telling you, we need to go back to that. We need to go back to.
I wish that could apply.
Yes,
now.
and
do you know how many?
Do you understand?
Oh my goodness, yes.
The slay queens would go down.
Oh,
Because I'll tell you why. Wrecking someone's home. No, wrecking someone's home.
Oh my goodness, I like this look. That's it.
No, wrecking. I wish. Let me tell you.
You go through.
But let me tell you something. I wish she was a slay queen. She was not even the damn slay queen. I'm sitting here. I don't even know what was attractive about this woman, except for the point that she's lighter in complexion.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, is this what you left me for? Are you serious?
Oh my goodness.
You know, but then that's for him, you know.
I mean, yes, that's for him.
Yes, that's for him. That's
yes. Yes.
And
So you're still talking about the
I'm talking about the settlement.
The settlement, yes.
Now I'm covered by our laws, the laws of the country.
And you're still dissecting, by the way. You spoke
Yes.
about infidelity.
Yes.
With regards to the Domestic
Yes.
Violence Act.
And the Divorce Act, it also covers you as a wife or as a partner. If anyone breaks your marriage and you've got proof, you can sue them.
Okay.
So I said, okay, I'll go after this woman. I'll sue her for destroying my marriage. I'll sue him for exposing me to HIV and AIDS as a doctor. And I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We just had properties. They are pieces of land. They were not developed, pieces of land. So I walked away with a nice settlement. I would say more than 50% because of those issues. And he did not improve me. He went and specialized. He did nothing for me. Didn't take me to school. And they looked at the duration of the relationship. Okay, this man paid lobola when, and when did you meet? And all those things. Yes. You take a minor, basically. You take a minor. My family, especially my mother, wanted to take him up for statutory rape. Actually, yes, because that was covered by the law. Fine. We then sat with our now lawyers, drafted, came up with the terms. The terms were that he was going to build me a house. Remember, now I've got 2 children with him. They are minors. I don't have a profession, and there is no home. So everything was based. I was clever to base everything on future maintenance. He went to build me a house in the estate where I was staying, paid to zero balance, transfer it to me. Second property, somewhere in Midrand in one of the estates, we had a piece of land there, the I'm sorry one, 2006 and 2007. So he was going to take one that was in the south because he worked in the south. He had also private hospitals that he was covering. The second one in Midrand was going to be mine also, which I wanted to build for my daughter. Because now I said to myself, if divorce hits you like this, I have to have some kind of preparation for my daughter never to have to deal with something like this. So I said, okay, I'm going to take this piece of land. I designed it. We had already designed a house. I designed both houses. I designed that house. A very cost-effective design that now we see as a warehouse, kind of. Very, very nice warehouse. Young, fresh. And I said, I'll build here. For my daughter, when she turns 21, she can have a place of her own. If she gets married, she leaves it for my son. When he gets married, he leaves it for me. But as soon as I build it, they are not going to stay there. They're going to stay at home, and then I'm going to rent it out. And the money, I'll use it to further their hopes, prove their skills, whatever that is not covered by the maintenance agreement. So now we divide the assets that I knew of. There were assets I learned 2023. There were assets and cars that I never knew of.
Sure. So then you get a settlement. Then there's this house. You build the house.
Yes.
The house is built. 2023 happens. Let's get to the crux of the whole thing.
Okay.
2023 happens. What was your wake-up call?
Maintenance. In my divorce settlement, maintenance of the children was until they are independent. They are financially stable to take care of themselves. I now went to look for the divorce settlement because incorporated was the children's maintenance. And also my spousal maintenance, because my spousal maintenance stated that he would do certain things until I remarry. I'm not remarried. So let me go and find this divorce settlement. I go to the family court in Johannesburg. They've moved because of water damages and all that. They're part of another court. And I go there only to find that my divorce settlement is missing. The file is missing. And I text and I ask him, because I'm thinking, this is already covered, because it says, he shall not degrade the children or me. So I'm looking for the maintenance agreement for the children. That is when I knew something is amiss, because I'm looking for the file. The file is nowhere to be found. All files, I could say to you, like you go to an archived filing system, and number 1 to 10 is there, but number 6 is not there. Everything else is there. So all the files are there, but mine is missing. Only mine is missing. I get there, and the clerk of the court wants me to pay for him to go and get files. And I'm like, here there's a problem. I went there several times. I even sent my brother to go and find my divorce settlement. We could not get anything. The clerk, the senior clerk supervisor, writes me an affidavit that we've looked everywhere, archives and everywhere. There is no file. I then said to myself, here there's a problem. I went to the minister's office and I said, I stand to lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My divorce file is nowhere to be found. Can you help me? The minister's office under the previous administration was very helpful, I must say.
Which ministry was it?
The ministry before this one was very helpful, and they put together a group of about 6 people to help me trace the file. They came back empty-handed. Then I started digging. The court is asking questions. They're looking for the attorney, his attorney. Unfortunately, Cindy, I did not have a legal representative when we were going to the family court for divorce. And he had a legal representative then. And I find out 2023 when I'm looking for the divorce file that the woman, the lawyer, his lawyer, was disbarred. 2007. We are divorcing in 2009. This woman is standing in court concluding our divorce.
And this person was disbarred?
By the High Court. Disbarred, and now we went looking. My daughter is brilliant when it comes to research. She digs and she says, Mom, here's a High Court ruling. You will not find this woman because she's struck off. She's been struck off from 2007 and 2009. She's in court. We look for this woman, this lawyer, and we find that this lawyer now works for my ex-husband's lawyers of record. And she's been working for them for the past 12 years. Tell me, is my divorce even valid?
No.
She was unlicensed. She was not meant to be sitting in court representing anybody. Is this not a syndicate? It is funny that your present lawyers are the employees of the disbarred lawyer.
So the maintenance, so you went there and then you wanted to find out, okay, so he's defaulting on maintenance.
Yes.
Now you want to take him on maintenance.
The children are adults now. They're taking
the
children. It's not me.
We're the ones who are taking
The
him
children
on.
are taking him for
so
maintenance.
they are taking him on. And they find out, okay, there is this information, this unraveling.
Exactly.
From you for you noting that, and for you taking action, and from him retaliating, what happened?
We demanded, because he was hiding his earnings, he was hiding his properties, and I was very interested. I can't lie, because now I'm thinking there's a disbarred lawyer. Somehow, this is my opportunity to get information, because he's submitting documents. So now I'm looking at what is going on. He is not disclosing. I know he was my husband for the longest time. I know that he works for private hospitals. That is not reflecting. I know that he is a lecturer at VETS. I'm going to say this. He's a lecturer at VETS, and this is not showing on the documents. He's dragging me to be part of the maintenance court proceedings, because he says that I'm hiding money and I've got money, and therefore as the second parent I'm supposed to be doing certain things for the children. The children are bringing in proofs that says we are here for you. She's been doing something. She's been carrying. There is another child here, an autistic child, and mom can no longer afford to be taking care of all of us. You need to play your part. You've taken us out of school. You have not been doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The last time, my daughter is going to sit here and tell you when was the last time the father had bought them or even hair clothes. And here you are, I've got a son that has eczema. He's got his own skin conditions. I'm spending so much money. He's using dermatological products. He's on tablets and all that because he's got serious eczema issues and also asthma. So that's the reason that the children had to take him to the maintenance court to say things are getting tough. As we're getting old, more money is needed. Come in. We're not only going to school. There's life after school. There are skills that needs to be developed. They are going for safety classes. I'm very much about safety because it is just me and the children at home. I wanted to get a gun, so I took the children for those lessons, safety lessons, to make sure that they're able to handle a gun. That's not cheap. My son is going to is going to gym. There's gym clothes. There's golfing. We stay in a golf estate. We want to be playing golf, and golfing is not a cheap sport. I've got an autistic child. He does horse riding. He does painting. He's swimming. He's got programs that are expensive that changes all the time. Today he wants to do boxing. I enroll him and I pay. And tomorrow he's like, I don't want to do that. And I have to work with this little one because I'm trying to find where does he fit in, And I needed help. And I was saying this autistic one alone is like 3 kids in one. They are expensive, And I was on my spiritual journey as well, and that's not a very cheap process as well. So that's the reason that the children went to take him there. And they had things to submit. They submitted invoices and stuff to say, Mom has been taking care of this. And
so
this,
they take him to court. Sorry.
Yes.
So they can't. They say so. They take him to court.
Yes.
Taking him to court. And you unravel these things. When you unravel these things, where did the whole thing, for you to end up not having a home?
Sure. He retaliated, I would say. As I knew him, because my ex-husband used his pocket to control and to oppress. So as soon as the children were there, he then sent a letter delivered by the sheriff to my home. This is now the 29th of September, 2023. It is during the maintenance court proceedings with the children. Yes, I had to have my own lawyer because he says you also have a duty to maintain, which I was not running away from. And the maintenance officer made it very clear that I cannot share the same lawyer as the children because I stand on my own and they stand on their own as adults. So basically, I had 2 lawyers to take care of. I had a lawyer for myself and a lawyer for my children. So my lawyer then writes a letter back. We respond to the notice of eviction sent to us by his lawyers on the 29th of September. Tell me, Cindy, this notice of eviction, number one, is coming from lawyers. It's unsigned. The letter is a 2-pager, it's unsigned. It's delivered to my home by a sheriff with a stamp. And I'm asking him that this is supposed to be an official document. Why doesn't it have a signature? But I sign in any case and I take it. When I read, they are quoting Pi Act. And I'm thinking, he's not a landlord. This is my house. He's never had a key to my house. He's never stayed a day in my house. It's post-divorce. I moved in on the 1st of December 2010. That is post-divorce. 15 years late, 13 years of staying in this. He's never raised that I need to be out. It's not my property. Why now? And I laugh about it. And I phone a friend of mine. He refers me to a lawyer. Oh, what a brilliant lawyer. But I can't afford him. We write back and we say, no, you are retaliating from the maintenance. You know very well that here there's a question of division of assets. We never divided assets since 2009. And number two, the PI Act that you're so quoting, that you're basing all of this on, does not apply. He's saying on this letter that I make noise. I'm a traditional healer, by the way. I'm a healer. I don't like this traditional thing. A healer is a healer. It doesn't have any. I'm a spiritual healer. And they are quoting that I'm making noise. I'm beating drums. I don't trim my trees. And in my house, my paint is not looking good. We just claimed from insurance 2001 to 2021, 2022. I've painted my house. It's freshly painted. And he's using, as an extra and his proof, he's using a picture that was taken in 2021 prior to me painting.
To evict you from the house?
Yes.
Through this
letter.
I wanted to even get to the conviction for you to have moved out from that house. So you get a doctor's lawyer. You get the lawyer's document.
Yes.
And from getting that, you are being told that you are
I'm making noise.
You're making noise because of those reasons.
Yes, those reasons.
That are there.
Yes.
What made you to actually move? What prompted you to actually move?
I'm moving now. Post the letters and all of that, which we were saying, we were laughing about it basically, that you don't have the grounds. Mm-hmm. And number two, I'm for the worst, if we cannot find the divorce settlement agreement, I'm the co-owner of all our properties. Sure. And thirdly, you as lawyers, you have no right of evicting me. Let's go through the court. We'll wait for you to go to the court so that we can go and present our case and see who owns it. I know why in the past 13 years it is not you that is occupying this house. So we moved from that. He sees that is not working. Attempt number one. He then sends 12 men, 12 thugs to my house. That is never stayed in. To break in. They broke in using a crowbar. We are inside their house. They break in. They come in. The children are screaming. And they stay in their house for the whole weekend from the 17th to the 19th of November 2023.
They're inside. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Phone the police as well. Phone the police as well. Phone the police as well. Hey, phone the Robert.
Mom, if you move close, you won't be able to connect.
I'll let some camera. I'll fuck my camera. Fuck my camera. Jigala, fuck my camera, my hidden cameras.
My hidden cameras, what?
Yes.
What do you want from my house? What do you want from my house?
Are you the owner of the property?
I am.
Can you show the Saturday?
What do you mean
Yes.
It's under my ex-husband. We're married in property.
Deal with your husband then.
No, deal with the court. We are in court, yes.
We are in court?
Yes.
Okay, it's fine. Deal with your lawyer.
But what do you want here? Who are you? Who sent you? What is
Why are
going
you
on?
not announcing yourself?
Why
are you not announcing yourself?
Robert, these people have broken into my house. They are inside. Robert, these people are inside the house.
Ngiyezwa no mama ne.
These people have broken in. These people are inside my
Umuntu
house.
nomuntu akamove lapho ngiyafona ufaka amakhamera amathathu. Fumene into.
They are not here, remember. It's very evident. These people are harassing us. They are inside the house. They are going all over the house.
Your home.
This is my house. This is my
It's
home.
also my home.
I'm not here to argue with you. And you are not going to be here and intimidating us in our home. You are not going to do that. This is not your home. This is not your home. This is our castle. This is our
Intimidating
home.
somebody else.
You are. I need to check with manje. This is I must move my house, my
No, but
couch
how
from
can
home.
it? How
You can't. You are not our guests. You are strangers in my house. You are not. No, uzomba ngelusindo in my house.
But you can't tell me ukuthi.
I can tell you because you are not a guest of mine. You are strangers in my house.
Let me tell you something, Instead
Yeah,
of
say
making a lot of noise, just go to court and make a lot of noise inside the
You
court.
must go to court and come where now. I'm going to go to Funani.
Just make a
I'm
lot of
going to
noise in
Funani
court.
in my house. Where?
Make a lot of noise.
What do you want in my house?
You can record, make
What
a
do
lot
you
of
want
noise
in
in
my
court.
house? What do you want in my house? Nifuna in the court now. We when again.
Yes, why did you?
You know what?
Ufuna couch in yam. Ufuna couch in yam.
Do I look like
Ufuna couch. Did you buy that couch?
Ngihlale couchini yakho mina.
Ungahlali ekhachini yami. Angithi uzongitshela ukuthi angithi manje uzongitshela ukuthi I cannot tell
You can't
you.
restrict ukuthi ubani.
This is my house. That is my couch.
Ask your ex-husband to tell us that, not you.
Nize naye nithi. Nize naye nithi.
So we
Nize
don't-
naye.
we are not
Ngifuna
here-
uthenge ikhawutheni.
We are not here to argue with you.
Nifunani kwami? Nifunani kwami? Nifunani kwami?
Wakho.
Yes, kukwami la.
It's not a problem. Deal with your ex-husband, not us.
Out of my house. I don't know you. You are a stranger in the house. In hell.
You will
In
see
Ubani
that.
wena.
In
I'll say
hell.
that.
You will see that.
Uzofunani?
In hell.
Uzofunani la.
Instead
Uzofunani
of
la.
arguing with this bitch, let's do it. Yeah, yes. You can
Bitch?
go to hell.
You calling me bitch?
Yes.
You calling me bitch?
Yes.
You calling me bitch?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm not here to argue with you. This is my home.
Your home.
This is my house. This is my
It's
home.
also my home.
I'm not.